Something strange is happening across the world right now. Men who've never met, who live in different cities, different countries, different cultures, they're all arriving at the same conclusion simultaneously. They're observing identical patterns, recognizing identical contradictions, drawing identical conclusions. It's not a conspiracy. It's not coordinated. It's a collective awakening happening in real time. And what they're waking up to isn't rage or bitterness. It's something far more powerful: clarity. Clarity about what certain modern relationship dynamics have mutated into. Clarity about standards that exist in theoretical space rather than reality. Clarity about expectations that flow exclusively in one direction, while reciprocity became a forgotten concept. Let me map out what men are finally starting to see, and why this recognition is fundamentally altering the landscape. The first revelation hitting men. The standards some women demand bear no relationship to what they themselves offer. She requires a six-figure income while unemployed for years. She demands unwavering loyalty while keeping backup options warm. She expects emotional regulation while throwing furniture during disagreements. She requires physical perfection while offering excuses. The hypocrisy isn't subtle anymore. It's fluorescent. A client showed me his ex's dating profile. Her requirements section resembled a pharmaceutical side effects list. Minimum height, 6 feet 2 inches. Minimum income, $150,000. 0 children. Property ownership mandatory. Peak physical condition. Emotionally available but never needy. This same woman, unemployed. Living with parents at 34, 2 children from different fathers. Hadn't seen a gym since high school PE class. Yet somehow she deserved perfection incarnate. The public meltdowns followed by immediate victim narratives are becoming impossible to overlook. Women cheat, get discovered, and somehow emerge as the wounded party. They destroy property, initiate violence, then dissolve into tears when consequences materialize. They create chaos, document their own behavior, broadcast it globally, then wait for sympathy to flood in. Disturbingly, it usually does. Last week, a video went viral. Woman admits infidelity with 3 separate men. Her boyfriend exits the relationship. She's sobbing on TikTok about how men can't handle strong women, and he never fought for us. The comments? You deserve better, queen. He wasn't man enough for you anyway. The gaslighting has achieved societal scale. The obsession with fame and willingness to detonate stable relationships for attention has reached epidemic levels. Women abandon 5-year relationships because a semi-famous musician liked their Instagram post. They demolish marriages because someone with verification followed them. They discard good men to chase fantasies that will never solidify into reality. A client's fiancé terminated their engagement because a local athlete started following her on Instagram. She genuinely interpreted this as meaningful connection. She broke their engagement, pursued this man who had followed literally thousands of women, got used for a week, then attempted to return. The delusion required to believe a follow means anything is staggering. The pattern of blaming partners for internal emotional chaos is exhausting to witness. She's unhappy? His fault. She's anxious? He's insufficient. She's bored? He lacks excitement. The possibility that her dissatisfaction originates internally, that her problems are self-manufactured, this never enters consideration. I observe this constantly. Women chronically dissatisfied regardless of partner effort. He plans dates? Not creative enough. He's romantic? Too much pressure. He gives space? He's distant. He's attentive? He's suffocating. The problem isn't him. The problem is some people require chaos like oxygen. Nietzsche wrote about those who need permanent conflict to feel alive, people for whom peace feels like death. Modern dating has revealed he was describing a specific phenomenon that some men are only now recognizing. The gaslighting to evade accountability has achieved professional mastery levels. Some women could conduct symposiums on reality distortion. They rewrite history while it's still happening. That argument where she threw dishes, he made me feel unsafe. That time she drained joint accounts, financial abuse drove me to protect myself. The affair. Emotional neglect forced me toward connection. The recording culture has exposed this dynamic. Men now record conflicts for self-protection, and what these recordings reveal is illuminating. Calm men being screamed at while accused of aggression. Patient men being attacked while labeled abusive. The gap between accusation and observable reality is vast. The romanticizing of self-destructive behavior as empowerment is deeply troubling. Women discuss subscription adult content platforms like Harvard MBA programs. They frame having multiple simultaneous partners as achievement. They mistake dysfunction for freedom. They confuse attention with actual value. I watched an interview where a woman celebrated entering adult work with the enthusiasm of someone landing their dream career. Zero discussion of long-term consequences, relationship impacts, or psychological effects. Just empowerment rhetoric and securing the bag. The normalization is surreal. The concealment or deception about sexual history has become standard operating procedure. Body count doesn't matter, but also never reveal the truth about it. Women genuinely believe extensive sexual histories can remain hidden indefinitely without affecting relationships. But truth operates like water. It always finds cracks. A man I know married a woman who claimed 3 previous partners. 2 years later at a party, an intoxicated friend casually mentioned the wild years when she was with different men weekly. The actual number? Closer to 50. I'm not judging the number. I'm judging the deception. How do you trust someone after that magnitude of lie? The dismissal of men's physical pain and psychological suffering is something men are finally recognizing as unacceptable. Some partners treat physical pain as man flu. They minimize emotional struggles as weakness. They mock therapy seeking as fragility. Male suffering has become a punchline in certain social circles. A man had a kidney stone. If you've experienced this, you know it's excruciating. His wife rolled her eyes, said he was dramatizing, refused hospital transport. He called a rideshare service while literally losing consciousness from pain. She later posted on social media about men being infants when ill. He filed for divorce from his hospital bed. The normalization of destructive behavior through external excuses is everywhere. I'm a Scorpio. I can't help jealousy. Mercury's in retrograde. That's why I cheated. I have anxiety. My abusive behavior is understandable. Always an excuse, never ownership. Always explanation, never responsibility. The astrology justification particularly fascinates me. Women make major life decisions based on celestial positions, then express confusion about their chaotic lives. They sabotage relationships because our signs aren't compatible, while ignoring actual incompatibilities, values, goals, basic respect. Men are learning to immediately exit relationships where boundaries get disrespected or manipulation appears. Tolerance for games has evaporated. Patience for manufactured drama has vanished. Men recognize toxic patterns earlier and leave faster. No more years attempting to repair people who have zero interest in repair. The promotion of extractive relationship ideology as normal expectation is wild to observe. Women openly state men should finance all their expenses simply for dating access. Not marriage, not commitment, just dating. They perceive nothing problematic about this. They call it knowing their worth. Literal courses now teach women resource extraction strategies. Maximum take, minimum give. They share tactics for obtaining gifts, trips, cash while maintaining emotional distance. They celebrate using men financially, then express confusion about male guardedness around resources. The reckless behavior framed as harmless fun, particularly during college, creates permanent consequences. Young women brag about encounters in public bathrooms, multiple partners, experiences recorded and shared. They don't grasp that the internet is eternal, that reputation matters, that actions carry consequences. A recruiter friend conducts deep social media searches before hiring. He's discovered videos of candidates in compromising situations posted publicly. These women never receive callbacks. Their hot girl summer becomes their unemployable winter. But warnings would be shaming, so nobody warned them. The mathematical impossibility of feminine entitlement toward high-value men while offering minimal reciprocity is fascinating. Every woman deserves a top 1% man. They all deserve millionaires. They all deserve perfection. But what occurs when everyone demands access to the same microscopic pool of men? Most end up with nothing, then blame men for the outcome. The dependency masked as empowerment is particularly ironic. I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, but he should pay her rent. They want traditional provision with modern autonomy. They want protection while claiming independence. They want support while offering none. The zero accountability in serious situations reveals profound reality disconnect. Women treat legal issues like jokes, criminal behavior like personality quirks, serious consequences like minor inconveniences. They've been shielded from accountability so long they don't believe it exists. I saw footage of a woman casually asking a police officer to handcuff her for fun during a traffic stop. She genuinely didn't comprehend the inappropriateness. She thought consequences were optional. Law enforcement was entertainment. Rules were suggestions. The privilege required for this mindset is astronomical. The exploitation of lonely men through parasocial dynamics is heartbreaking to witness. Women maintain dozens of male friends who finance bills, provide gifts, offer emotional support, all while knowing these men harbor romantic hope. They string them along with precisely enough attention to keep resources flowing. One woman bragged online about having different men pay each bill, one for phone service, one for vehicle, one for housing. She called them her roster. These weren't boyfriends or partners, just desperate men she kept dangling on hooks. And she perceived zero moral problem with this exploitation. When men's trauma gets dismissed or mocked, it reveals profound empathy deficits. A man shares sexual assault history and women laugh. A man discusses abusive relationship trauma and it gets minimized. A man expresses genuine pain and it's labeled weakness. The double standard is so normalized that identifying it gets labeled misogyny. There was a podcast where a man shared how his ex-wife took everything in divorce after infidelity. The female host laughed, said he must have fumbled her, suggested he probably deserved it. Imagine the reversal. Imagine male hosts laughing at a woman's divorce trauma. The cancellation would be instantaneous and career-ending. The destruction of relationships through perfectionism and relentless criticism is driving men away en masse. Some partners nitpick everything: how he loads the dishwasher, how he dresses, how he texts, how he breathes. Nothing achieves good enough status. No effort receives appreciation. No gesture proves sufficient. A client's wife maintained a literal spreadsheet documenting his mistakes. Forgot to lower toilet seat, logged. Arrived home 10 minutes late, documented. Purchased wrong milk brand, recorded. She presented this as evidence he didn't value the relationship. He presented divorce papers as evidence he was finished with insanity. The complete breakdown of respect within modern relationships is undeniable. Women genuinely believe respect is optional, that it must be earned daily, while theirs is automatic and permanent. They demand reverence while offering contempt. They expect worship while providing criticism. Social media influencers convince women that relationships should provide constant entertainment. If he's not orchestrating elaborate dates weekly, he's low effort. If he's not posting about her daily, he's hiding something. If he's not performing romance for public consumption, he's not genuinely committed. The reality disconnect is staggering. Women living completely average lives believing they deserve extraordinary treatment. work in retail but expecting private aviation, living with roommates but demanding luxury vacations, contributing minimally but expecting everything. The friend group reinforcement creates echo chambers of delusion. They tell each other they're all queens deserving kings. They validate toxic behavior. They encourage destructive choices. They construct alternate realities where accountability doesn't exist. A friend's girlfriend had a group meeting weekly to criticize their boyfriends. They'd spend hours listing complaints, never mentioning positive qualities. They'd encourage each other to demand more, give less, threaten departure. 3 of 5 relationships terminated within a year. Mission accomplished, I suppose. Dating app culture has created massive expectation inflation. Women swipe through hundreds of men daily, rejecting 99% for minor imperfections. Too short, wrong profession, wrong aesthetic, wrong zodiac sign. They're shopping for humans like Amazon products, then wondering why they can't sustain connections. The victim mentality pervading everything makes resolution impossible. Every conflict becomes abuse. Every disagreement becomes gaslighting. Every boundary becomes control. When someone exists permanently as victim, they never need to change. The casual cruelty toward average men is heartbreaking. Women match with men they're not interested in solely for free meals. They lead men on for attention. They use men for emotional support while pursuing others. They perceive male pain as irrelevant, male hope as exploitable. The children being raised within these dynamics are absorbing toxic lessons. Boys learning they're defective by default. Girls learning entitlement equals empowerment. Both learning that relationships constitute warfare, not partnership. The celebration of single motherhood by choice while demanding men step up is contradictory. I don't need a man to raise children, but also, real men date single mothers. They want independence credit while requiring rescue. They want to be perceived as strong while demanding support. Schopenhauer wrote that we can do what we wish, but we can only wish what we must. These women wish for contradictory outcomes and wonder why reality won't comply with their wishes. The body positivity movement mutating into obesity encouragement is concerning. Women gain significant weight, then demand partners find them equally attractive. They change fundamentally, then accuse men of shallowness for noticing. They demand acceptance while offering alteration. Financial exploitation normalized as dating is unsustainable. Women view dates as income opportunities. They schedule multiple dates weekly for free food. They maintain rotations of men for different expenses. They've monetized romance while claiming to seek love. The communication styles that would be labeled abuse if gender reversed are standard. Screaming, throwing objects, silent treatment, emotional manipulation, all normalized when women do it. But a man raises his voice once, abuser for life. The pregnancy entrapment still occurring despite societal denial is real. Women lie about contraception, sabotage protection, retrieve discarded genetic material. They perceive babies as meal tickets, child support as income strategy. Then they wonder why men are getting vasectomies in record numbers. The divorce fantasy some women maintain throughout marriage is toxic. They plan exits while saying, "I do." They calculate alimony during arguments. They document everything for future legal use while claiming to work on the relationship. The social media performance replacing actual relationships is everywhere. Women care more about the Instagram post than the actual date, more about the wedding than the marriage, more about the image than the reality. They're not building relationships, they're creating content. The hypergamy unleashed by modern options is creating massive loneliness. Women reject good men waiting for perfect ones who don't exist or won't commit. They spend prime years chasing unavailable men, then panic when options contract. The masculine behavior simultaneously demanded and punished is schizophrenic. Be dominant, but not controlling. Be protective, but not possessive. Be emotional, but not weak. Be successful, but available. The contradictions are impossible to navigate. The rewriting of relationship history after breakups is Orwellian. Happy relationships become toxic retroactively. Consensual becomes coerced in hindsight. Love becomes trauma bonding when convenient. The past changes based on present emotional states. The therapy language weaponized against men is exhausting. Every preference is controlling. Every boundary is abusive. Every standard is toxic. They've transformed healing language into weapons while avoiding actual healing. The good men observing this are choosing solitude over suffering. They're watching friends destroyed in divorce, brothers falsely accused, fathers separated from children. They're learning that risk doesn't justify reward, that peace surpasses partnership with someone adversarial. The generational impact will be severe. Marriage rates plummeting, birth rates crashing, families not forming. Not because men hate women, but because men are protecting themselves from dynamics that guarantee suffering. The awakening some women are experiencing comes too late. At 35, 40, wondering where all the good men disappeared to. They went where they were appreciated, respected, valued. They went where effort was reciprocated. They went where they were wanted for more than resources. The men building lives without romantic relationships are thriving, financially stable, emotionally peaceful, physically healthy. They're proof that male happiness doesn't require female validation, that success doesn't require struggle, that life doesn't require drama. The documentation age we inhabit is exposing previously hidden truths, videos showing behavior, recordings revealing reality, posts proving patterns. Men aren't imagining things. They're seeing evidence, and evidence is difficult to deny. The solution isn't complicated, but it requires something rare: accountability. Women recognizing their role in relationship failures, acknowledging their contributions to problems, accepting that respect must be mutual. The men who still want relationships are becoming incredibly selective. They're seeking partners, not projects. They're pursuing peace, not problems. They're vetting for values, not just beauty. They're choosing carefully because they've witnessed the cost of choosing poorly. The cultural shift happening is permanent. Men aren't returning to blind trust. They're not resuming unconditional provision. They're not accepting one-sided arrangements. The awareness can't be undone. The truth men are waking up to isn't that all women are problematic. It's that problematic behavior has been normalized, celebrated, protected. It's that identifying obvious issues gets labeled hate. It's that expecting basic reciprocity makes you toxic. The irony is that women who genuinely offer partnership, respect, and reciprocity are also suffering. They're lumped in with those who don't. They're dealing with men made suspicious by experience. They're paying for others' exploitation. The path forward requires honest conversation about real dynamics. Not man-bashing or woman-hating, but truth-telling about what's actually happening. About standards that don't match reality. About expectations that aren't reciprocal. About behaviors that destroy rather than build. Men are waking up to patterns they were told didn't exist, to realities they were gaslit about, to truths they were shamed for noticing. And this awakening isn't anger, it's clarity. Clarity about what they will and won't accept. The loneliness epidemic everyone discusses? It's not men being unable to find partners. It's men choosing solitude over toxic dynamics. It's men prioritizing peace over drama. It's men protecting themselves from patterns they've recognized. The correction that's approaching will be harsh but necessary. Reality always wins eventually. Standards that can't be met won't be sustained. Expectations that aren't reciprocal won't endure. Behaviors that destroy relationships will lead to solitude. The men sharing their experiences aren't bitter. They're educational. They're warning younger men about pitfalls. They're exposing patterns that were hidden. They're providing information that could save others from suffering. The accountability revolution that's needed starts with individual choices. Men choosing not to enable toxic behavior. Men refusing to accept double standards. Men walking away from disrespect. Men requiring reciprocity. The hope is that recognition leads to change, that exposing patterns leads to better behavior, that consequences lead to accountability, that truth leads to growth. But change requires acknowledgement, and acknowledgement requires honesty. The modern dynamics aren't sustainable. Something will give. Either behavior changes or relationships end. Either accountability arrives or solitude increases. Either reciprocity returns or men remain absent. The truth men are waking up to is simple. They deserve better than what's being offered, better than criticism disguised as love, better than exploitation disguised as dating, better than abuse disguised as empowerment. The future belongs to those who build authentic partnerships, who offer genuine respect, who provide real reciprocity, who create actual value. The market is correcting, and those who don't adjust will be left behind. The men watching this need to understand your standards matter, your boundaries are valid, your peace is precious. Don't sacrifice these for anyone who wouldn't do the same for you. The women watching this who recognize these patterns in themselves have a choice. Continue down a path that leads to loneliness or change. Offer what you expect. Respect what you require. Value what you want valued. The relationships that survive this correction will be stronger for it. Built on mutual respect, genuine partnership, real reciprocity, the performance will end. The reality will remain, and those who can handle reality will thrive. The alarming truth men are waking up to isn't about all women. It's about toxic patterns that have been normalized. It's about behaviors that destroy rather than build. It's about expectations that take without giving. But truth, even alarming truth, is better than comfortable lies. Men are choosing reality over delusion, clarity over confusion, truth over gaslighting. And that choice, that awakening, is changing everything. The final message is this: men deserve relationships that add to their lives, not subtract, that build them up, not tear them down, that provide peace, not chaos. And if those relationships aren't available, solitude is a valid, honorable choice. Your happiness matters. Your peace matters. Your mental health matters. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Don't let society shame you for protecting yourself. Don't let culture gaslight you about what you're seeing. The awakening is happening. The truth is spreading. The patterns are being recognized. And men everywhere are making the same decision to choose themselves, their peace, and their happiness over dynamics that guarantee none of those things. Stay strong, stay aware, and most importantly, stay true to what you know you deserve, because you deserve better. And accepting less isn't noble, it's unnecessary.